What's going on, everybody out there? Hope you're having a good Saturday afternoon, and I hope you have a good Saturday night. This video is my year in wrestling 2008 part 2. I'll be talking about after WrestleMania, Backlash until probably SummerSlam, and I'll be also talking about some TNA pay-per-view main events. I'm not going to discuss every single match of the pay-per-views. I'm only going to talk about the main events for WWE and TNA pay-per-views. And either in this video or the next one, I will talk a little bit about some Ring of Honor pay-per-views that they put on, because they got on pay-per-view in 2008. So here we go with Backlash 2008. This wasn't a main event, but I thought I'd read it anyway because it was a 12 Diva tag match. We had the team of Beth Phoenix, Melina, Layla, Jillian Hall, Victoria, and Natalia defeat the team of Mickie James, Ashley, Michelle McCool, Cherry, and Kelly Kelly in a 12 Diva tag match. So that was pretty entertaining because as a guy back then, I think I was 22 years old, got to see a lot of hot chicks come out and all be in one match. So, now to the SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship match. The Undertaker defeated Edge to retain his championship. WWE Championship main event was Triple H defending and defeating, I think Triple H was champion, or Randy Orton, one of them. Anyways, Triple H defeated Randy Orton, John Cena, and JBL in a fatal 4-way elimination match for the WWE title. So Triple H walked out Backlash as a WWE champion. And I do not remember seeing a fatal 4-way. I do not ever remember seeing this match, but I know I saw it because I watched the pay-per-view live. But I do not remember Triple H versus Orton versus Cena versus JBL. I do not remember that match. Maybe I should go back and watch it on the network. Now to Judgment Day 2008. The Divas title match, or women's championship match, was very good and very entertaining. The women's champion Mickie James defeated Beth Phoenix and Melina. As I said, it was a triple threat and it was very good and very entertaining. The main event was WWE Champion Triple H defeating Randy Orton. They would continue their feud into, I think, into One Night Stand, and then Randy Orton got hurt during the match, I believe. On to One Night Stand now, which was June 1st, 2008. WWE Champion, as I said, he defeated Randy Orton again. This was their fourth WrestleMania WrestleMania Backlash Judgment Day, and now One Night Stand. This was Triple H and Orton's fourth pay-per-view working together. And as I said, Randy Orton got hurt. I believe he popped his shoulder out of place or dislocated his shoulder in the match, and the match had to be stopped, I think. And referees came down and helped Orton to the back. It was pretty sad that he got injured during the match, and I think he'd be out of action for a little while, or maybe a couple months. I don't really remember. So Triple H defeats Orton again in a last man standing match, and Randy Orton got injured, and he may have finished the match. I don't really remember, because 2008 was 8 years ago. Orton may have finished the match and he was just holding his arm the entire match and couldn't really move it or do much. SmackDown WWE World Heavyweight, or not WWE, World Heavyweight Championship was on the line for the SmackDown brand. Edge defeated The Undertaker in a TLC match to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Very entertaining. It was very good. Now on to Night of Champions, which was in the month of June. 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. That's never a good idea, but they did it. WWE World Heavyweight Champion, not WWE, World Heavyweight Champion Edge defeated Batista. And the main event was WWE Champion Triple H defeating John Cena at Night of Champions. Cena versus Triple H was pretty good. It was pretty entertaining. And I was glad Triple H retained because I wanted him to. Now, Great American Bash, which took place in July of 2008. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, who cashed in on Raw in June or July, he cashed in, defeated Batista, or pinned Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship after Batista attacked Edge on Raw. Batista bombed him, then CM Punk came out, cashed in, won the title. So CM Punk was defending the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time on pay-per-view at Great American Bash 2008. CM Punk defeated Batista when it ended in a double disqualification. So nobody really won because there's a double DQ, but CM Punk retains because of the DQ. JBL defeated John Cena in a New York City parking lot brawl. This match was pretty entertaining. WWE Championship, Triple H defended the title and defeated Edge to retain. Other things that happened at Great American Bash because they're worth mentioning. Shawn Michaels took on Chris Jericho. They just started their feud, and it would become a very heated feud and rivalry from July until September and October. Jericho would feud with Triple H until October because they would have a ladder match at No Mercy, which was pretty damn good. And I believe Jericho even got his tooth knocked out in that ladder match. So Jericho and Shawn Michaels, their feud basically started at Great American Bash because Shawn Michaels was busted open and bled a lot. He bled buckets. You couldn't see his face. It was covered in blood. So that was pretty awesome. Other matches, ECW champion Mark Henry defeated Tommy Dreamer, which was pretty lame and boring. I wanted Tommy Dreamer to win because I wasn't a fan of Mark Henry as ECW champion. It was just stupid. In the new ECW championship that they created, in the new belt that WWE made, it was like silver and it looked like shit. Had the ECW letters in gray and silver like popping out of the belt to look 3D. It was a stupid, ugly ass looking belt that WWE made for the ECW brand. I hated it. The old ECW title that was around in the year 2000 looked way better than the WWE's ECW title that they created and made. Other matches, Michelle McCool defeated Natalya, and Michelle McCool becomes the first ever Divas champion. They would still have the women's title, I think, for a couple more months or maybe another year. But Michelle McCool makes history and wins a Divas championship and becomes the first ever Divas champion. I wanted Natalya to win, but she did not. Michelle McCool started getting a big push, and she would even get more of a push when Lay Cool would get together in 2009 or 10. And probably because Michelle started dating Undertaker. That's probably why she stayed champion so long. I'm not saying Michelle McCool did not have talent, because she did have some talent, but she later on, or maybe in 2008, she started using AJ Styles. She started using his Styles Clash as a finisher. I hated that. It was awful, and it pissed me off. So that was Great American Bash. Pretty damn good pay-per-view in 2008. And I believe 2008 was the last year that WWE would put on a Great American Bash, because they would drop that pay-per-view and they would just call it The Bash. So in 2009 it was just called The Bash, not Great American Bash. So that was Great American Bash, the last pay-per-view before SummerSlam. So I'm going to go to TNA pay-per-views now. TNA. I ended talking about TNA's Lockdown, where Samoa Joe won the TNA World title finally from Kurt Angle. And finally got a push. Because, I mean, he got a push before, because he was a long-reigning X Division champion, but Samoa Joe finally got a push as a top guy by winning the world title at Lockdown. So on to Sacrifice, which took place in May of 2008, right after Lockdown. The next pay-per-view after Lockdown. Main event was World Champion, TNA World Champion Samoa Joe defeating Scott Steiner and Kazarian in a three-way dance. So Joe retains. That was awesome. Knockouts action. You had Gail Kim and Roxy win a knockouts battle royal, and then they competed in a singles match, which was pretty good, damn good. I think it was a ladder match. I think Gail Kim defeated Roxy in a ladder match to become the #1 contender for the Knockouts title. That match was very good, very entertaining. I think Roxy took a spine buster on the ladder and busted the back of her head open and needed a lot of stitches and staples. So she was pretty damn tough, was Roxy. And she was a good knockout. I liked Roxy. But she ended up leaving TNA, and then she returned later and left again. I don't even know if Roxy is still wrestling. We all know Gail Kim is still in TNA and still wrestling. I believe Gail Kim is a reigning Knockouts champion, I think. And Roxy, I don't know if she's still wrestling, but wherever she is, I wish you luck, Roxy, wherever you are in your life. Slammiversary. I'm going to talk about the entire Slammiversary pay-per-view because it's a big pay-per-view. As I said, I'll talk about the Lockdown, Slammiversary, Bound for Glory. I'll talk about their entire pay-per-views because those are big shows. And for WWE, I'll talk about Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series because those are big shows. And I'll discuss the entire pay-per-view card of those shows. So, here we go with Slammiversary, which kicked off with the Motor City Machine Guns. Great tag team. I was a big fan of theirs. Big mark of the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, they're both in Ring of Honor right now. I think they're still there. Alex Shelley's in New Japan mostly, but he does come back and work some Ring of Honor. So the Motor City Machine Guns defeated Lance Hoyt. I was never a fan of his. I did not like the guy at all. Lance Hoyt and Johnny Devine. Johnny Devine was a former member, I believe, of Team Canada. Up next, the X Division Championship. P. Williams defeated Kazarian in a pretty good match. Gail Kim, ODB, and Roxy in 6 knockouts tag team action. They defeated the team of the Beautiful People, Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, and a knockout called Moose. I don't remember her. I know Moose. I know that Moose from Ring of Honor. I don't know who Moose was as a knockout. I think she's some big, tall, white chick that looked like a bodybuilder and looked like a guy. So that was probably who the knockout Moose was. World Tag Team Championships were on the line. LAX, great team. Just like Motor City Machine Guns were a great team. Homicide and Hernandez defeated Team 3D. Bully Ray, or Brother Ray at the time. He wasn't Bully Ray yet. Brother Ray and Devon. Awesome Kong in a second knockouts match. Awesome Kong defeated Serena Deep, who Serena would eventually go to WWE in 2009 or 10 and join CM Punk's Straight Edge Society. She's a female that had her head shaved on SmackDown and joined the Straight Edge Society. So that's who Serena Deep is. Anyways, Serena, this was like basically a tryout match or a one-shot deal that TNA gave Serena to come in and basically challenge Kong. Awesome Kong defeated Serena Deep in a 25,000 fan challenge match. You had fans, female fans that were wrestlers. They were challenging Awesome Kong on Impact, and they were all losing. And Serena Deep at Slammiversary did the same. She challenged Kong as a fan, and she lost. Later on, in 2008, Taylor, I think her name is Taylor Wilde. It's been a long time since I've heard her name, but I think that's who it was. The knockout Taylor Wilde came out of the crowd, challenged Kong on Impact, and actually defeated Kong in a shocking upset. So Taylor Wilde defeated Kong, and then she basically got a TNA contract, and she became a knockout, and she was pretty damn good. I believe Taylor Wilde is now retired or has a wrestling school in Canada. Maybe she doesn't have a wrestling school, but I think she retired from the ring. So, after Awesome Kong defeated Serena Deep, then Awesome Kong defeated another female wrestler, I believe. Awesome Kong then defeated Josie Robertson. I don't know who that is, and I don't know where she worked. She might have worked in Shimmer. So Kong defeated two challengers that were knockouts, but they weren't knockouts for very long. Basically, one show only. They were brought in just to job to Kong at Slammiversary. Now we had them AJ Styles before the main event. AJ Styles defeated Kurt Angle in a very good match. Could have been a little bit better, but it was very, very good. AJ, Kurt Angle, two of the best of all time. In my opinion, two of my favorite guys to watch in the ring. TNA World Champion Samoa Joe won the King of the Mountain match to retain the championship. So that was good. I was happy that happened. Now on to Victory Road, which was TNA's July 2008 pay-per-view. Main event was World Champion, TNA World Champion Samoa Joe defeating Booker T when the match ended in a no contest. But Samoa Joe still retains his title. And Booker T, I believe, debuted in TNA in July or June or July of 2008. He came into TNA, debuted on Impact, and then got a title shot against Joe at Victory Road. I don't think Booker, his TNA run, didn't look like Booker T really wanted to be there, but it just seems like he went to TNA just for a big payday. I'm sure he got paid well, and I think he was there a year, or maybe a little less, a year or so, I think, or less than a year. But Booker T still tried hard and had some good matches in TNA, even though he looked like he kind of didn't want to be there. And I'm sure he did not want to be there. I don't remember if Booker was released. I don't think he was released by WWE. I don't know what was going on, why they didn't want to use him anymore, but Booker decided to go to TNA and make a living for himself. Because he had to make a living for himself and his family. So I don't blame Booker for going to TNA. All the power to him. He could go wherever he wants if WWE didn't want to use him anymore. Now on to Hard Justice, which was August 2008 pay-per-view. Main event was World Champion Samoa Joe defeating Booker T again, but this time it was in the 6 sides of steel cage, and it was a weapons match. So Samoa Joe wins. It was pretty good. A lot of weapons were in the cage. It was entertaining, and I was happy Samoa Joe retained. But I think he would not leave, not end 2008. I don't think Joe would end 2008 as TNA World Champion. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'll just look ahead a little bit, because I will be doing a part 3 on the year 2008. So, final resolution, TNA World Champion was not Samoa Joe. It was Sting. And I believe, yeah, it was Sting. So, that was No Surrender. As I said, their main event, not No Surrender, Hard Justice. Main event was Samoa Joe defeating Booker T in a 6 sides of steel weapons match. It was entertaining. I was happy that Joe retained because I was a big fan of him back in 2008. Still am a big fan of Samoa Joe and a supporter of his. So this ends my year in wrestling 2008 part 2 video. I'll be back and I'll be doing a 2008 part 3 video on the year in wrestling. I'll basically be talking about WWE and TNA mostly, but I'll throw in some Ring of Honor from time to time. Hope you enjoyed it. This was a year in wrestling 2008 part 2. I'll be back with a part 3 probably in a couple days after I do my WWE Fastlane prediction. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great Saturday night. Hope you have a fun, good time.